What is going on, guys? We are here for our episode 2 review of Ozark, dude. Very exciting show so far. A little bit gloomy, dude. A little bit gloomy for me. A little bit gray, a little bit monochrome, dude. It kind of bums me out watching it, dude, but I am loving certain aspects of the show, including the plot, including the characters, including how fast things are developing for the Bird family, dude. For my boy Marty, for his son, dude. He made a friend this episode. That was big time. That was big time for this kid, dude. He was a weirdo, but he made a friend, so things are looking up. Ryan, what did you think of the episode, dude?
Yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed this episode. It picks up right off the bat.
Mm,
We start with the conversation in the car, Marty and the wife, and he's laying it all on the line, and she doesn't take too kindly to it. Completely smacks him across
mm,
the
mm,
face. It's
mm.
pretty hard. He ends up getting a large gash down the mouth. We see
Reminds me
that
of my
throughout.
honeymoon.
Yeah, we see that throughout the entire episode. Many characters comment on it, but yeah, obviously the colors, like you said, are still, gloomy, but I think that's just going to be the way that this show is.
Mm,
And I think it does it sets an interesting scene, unlike a lot of other TV shows. But yeah, the plot is moving much faster than I expected. I
mm.
guess by the end of this episode, you're kind of realizing what happened is, I don't know, all for naught. Like, basically the whole point of this episode is, uh, the wife is trying to find a house for them to buy, while Marty is finding a business for them to launder all this money through. And then the kids are supposed to watch their hotel room to make sure that nobody gets in and steals the money. And what ends up happening is, this family that is like known thieves. They end up kind of tricking the daughter into leaving. The son runs off to make that friend, and one of the daughters of this family, who is also like the person that gives you towels and stuff at the hotel, ends up getting in there, stealing the money, which then Marty ends up going and getting back most of the money. He lost like 20,000. That's what they kept. So maybe we'll see that plot point develop down the line where um dude, what's his name doesn't get all of his money back. But that's
Marty.
basically the whole episode.
Dude, and I think it's just to show sort of like how vulnerable this family feels, dude. And like something with TV shows that like makes it so good, and that's something that Breaking Bad did so well, is like the pacing of the plot points.
Yes.
And like feeling like the viewer can never fully catch their breath.
Hmm.
Right as one thing goes wrong and they're like trying to recover from that one thing, another thing goes wrong and it like
Right.
diverts the plot. It's like, oh,
Yes.
we got to take care of this now. And that's exactly what happened while they're
Yeah.
trying to get on their feet, while they're trying to get the family together, while they're trying to get the kids under control. Marty's trying to find a business to launder his money. He's pulling out all the salesman tricks. He's meeting as many people that he can in the area. Bam, their money gets stolen. He has to deal with that now. It's quite the roller coaster ride already in episode 2, and I feel like that alone shows like a ton of promise for just how exciting of a show this can be. And there's so many implications for like things to go wrong, especially with how they're settling into their new home with this old guy who seems like very smart. Even though he's old, he seems like very much with it. And I feel like he's going to find out things about this family that maybe the family doesn't want to know. But again, they have to hold up that image. They have to, they're used to a certain lifestyle, so they bit the bait on the nicer house, but they have this old guy who has to live with them. You know what I mean? So it's sort of the pros and the cons of the situation, and they're living with this old guy now, and hopefully he doesn't find out any of the family's secrets.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you bring up a great point, because although, and then the one other thing that kind of happened in this episode is at the end, well, Marty's son had told him that, his friend had works at the Blue Cat Lodge. So Marty, after having no success, finding a place to launder this money, goes to the Blue Cat Lodge and tries to pitch to launder his money there. They don't like that. But uh, Marty's son's friend is working there and getting called out by just one of the people at the bar, and Marty kind of stands up for him, and the owner sees this, and now it looks like, the owner maybe is gonna have second thoughts, and like
Mm.
there might be a partnership here. I still don't think she fully I don't know. Does she? She doesn't like fully understand what he's trying to do with the money, does he? At the Blue
No,
Cat Lodge?
no,
No.
I don't think so. And like, in that scene alone, dude. Like, there's so many cool things that I love about how they wrote this character and like how he acts this character out because he's actually like a good dude and well intentioned and like cares
Mhm.
for people genuinely and is trying to be
Yeah.
like a good father to his kids. And he's incredibly, incredibly smart. He's just been like slighted in certain aspects in life that put him in this position to sort of pick up all the pieces. Um, but really, really like that scene where he's standing up for this kid. You know, the owner of the Blue Cat Lodge is in the background, and he doesn't know that she's watching. Like he's not doing this for show. He's genuinely trying to stand up for this kid and tell these like biker. I don't even know if they're biker dudes. I don't know, but they're rough looking dudes, and he tells them off in the bar. Just completely tells them off to their face. You know, I don't know if he spits in their face or what's going on, but he yeah, dude, it's a very cool moment, dude, and maybe he wins the favor of the Blue Cat Lodge lady, and
Yeah.
there's sort of a relationship that's formed there
So I
because
would
of it.
I would compare to the scene to season one Breaking Bad where Walter White is standing up for his son at the clothing store. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And but like you said, this character Marty just seems so like genuine. Like I don't know.
Mm.
I got a much
There's like
better
a
feeling.
different vibe. It's like instead
Yeah,
of being like a power hungry like mongrel, like looking to take control of
right.
his life and show off his power like Walt was,
Yeah.
like really out of control. Marty is like genuinely like trying to like make a positive difference, you know?
Yeah, like I don't know. I just felt way better like watching this scene compared to the one with Walter White.
I think the one with Walter White was still satisfying,
Oh,
but it
for sure.
satisfied like a darker part of my self. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Where I'm
sure.
like, oh
Uh,
yes, revenge instead of
right.
like justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so, yeah, like you kind of mentioned with talking about how the guy that they're living with, he's very with it and, might be able to find out some things. Like, I think this episode, thinking about it, really did set up a lot of things that could come back later, like in the very near future or in the, extend it out further. Because like that's something that that could happen late season one, season two. Who knows how long this guy's gonna live, right?
Mm.
And like, how long they're gonna drag that out. But in like the $20,000 that were taken, that's something that could literally go away forever if like Marty's able to, I don't know, somehow just make more money and just make it seem like it was never taken, or that's something they could easily bring back where um dude is going to be upset that there's
Mm.
$20,000 short. And then, the last thing being, is there going to be a relationship here working with the Blue Cat Lodge? That's probably the one that we're going to get the answer to the quickest, would be my guess. And I think that that's probably where the partnership's going to be, and that's where he's going to be laundering the money. But, we'll see.
I think absolutely with the partnership, and like I think things will actually snowball with the $20,000. I think things are gonna slowly get out of hand. You know, there's a reason. Otherwise that plot point, you know, what else does it service besides just showing how vulnerable the family is and how they need to stick together? And I think that there's like a reason that they slipped that in there and like it was a legitimate loss instead of them getting all their money back. You know what I mean? I think there is going to be some deeper implications for the family down the road.
And I could totally see that family continuing to be a thorn in the side of Marty and
Mm,
what he's trying to do. Like, these are notorious crooks in the Ozark area. And I don't know, like, we didn't get a lot about like the specific characters of these people. We probably got the most focus on the one female, right?
right.
Um, and the sheriff is saying she's the one that hasn't fully reached her potential yet as a crook, but like she's the scariest.
And she,
I don't
dude,
know.
so there was that one like ringleader girl who wanted to keep the money, right? That it was, I think, the
That's her.
blonde girl. Okay, yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah, that's her. She's
So
the one female.
she looked at Marty and said, "I have a feeling like you should already be dead." And I feel like
Maybe
that's major foreshadowing
she
and
said
major like looking into the man's soul and revealing something to the audience that is very important.
for sure. More specifically, she said, "Why do I feel like we both know
Mm,
we both
mm,
know you should already be dead, or it would be better if you were dead. I think if it would be better if you were dead.
mm.
But she said, why do I
We
feel like we
both
both
know.
know?
And
Which is
and
like
and that's like a
she's
deeper cut almost because it's like
and she's
I
being like
know
creepy.
that you don't
Yeah,
even deserve to be in this situation.
right. And so I feel like we are gonna see more of this family. I think she's a pretty intriguing character, and I think having this family where they're like they don't have anything, they're crooks, they're trying to get every little inch they can. They don't care if they, cheat people. And there's so many of them. Like
Mm,
I think it's interesting, and I think that we're gonna see more of them throughout this show would be my guess.
absolutely. And I was kind of surprised with how quickly I sympathized with that the sort of like band of criminals, but especially the female character. Because it's like, yeah, they're in a rough spot too, you know. And if I came across an opportunity at all that money, like I would try everything that I could to salvage any of it, you know. So
And we see that these none of them are they don't seem like terrible people too. We see the two people that talked to the daughter immediately like at the pool area. They were pretty like very quick in Marty's speech to try to get them to give up the money. They were like, "Dude, we're out. Like this is too
right,
much. We're in
right.
too deep." Like they're although they're trying to get money because they don't have much in life, like they're still like good people to where they're like, we don't want to be involved in this. Although, they
Mm,
did chuck her off the boat, but
right.
I don't know. That's a whole nother issue.
That's a whole nother
Um
issue.
but
But
like,
desperate times
none of
call for desperate measures.
they were kind of reasoned with by Marty, and it's not like they could have just completely just punched him, completely taken him out, right? But like
Mm,
no, they didn't do anything like that. But I think we could see a scenario where I believe the daughter, the one female, kind of ends up taking control and leads that whole family, and maybe leads them down a path that is a little bit darker and where they maybe get more violent or more ruthless.
absolutely. And like huge things to come, dude. Very exciting episode. Guys, if you want to hear some more about this Ozark series, you know, we'll be doing some more reviews in the future. Let us know what you think about Ozark. You know, episode 2 is a big episode, a lot of stuff happening. Yeah, and we will see you in the next review.